These 6 people wanted to make their way from India to the UK. After escaping through gunfire and chaos for 2 months, they finally made it across Afghanistan and reached Iran. Next they still had to walk for 2 days through the desert, before they could reach Turkey, but on the way they were stopped by 3 soldiers. The officer in charge waved his hand and said go ahead. Hadi, who had once been a soldier, knew that was not a kind gesture. He quickly shouted for them to stop, but he could not stop the 3 companions they had met along the way, Xiao Ma and Xiao, who both obediently stayed behind. Sure enough, the officer turned around and picked up a sniper rifle, and his radio too. As if even in moments like this the music had to keep playing, they watched him calmly raise the rifle, and aim at the 3 people scrambling away. At the first shot the girl went down. The second shot brought down the girl's brother. Seeing that there was nowhere to run in such an open place, the third person turned back and decided to take a chance. But his journey also came to an end with a single shot. The 3 who were left alive became prisoners. After staring at Xiao Ma for a while, the officer suddenly had another idea. He waved his hand and said, come into the tent with me. The moment anyone hesitated, he raised his gun. Hadi even helped push Xiao Ma into the tent. Before entering, the officer turned up the volume as if getting ready for another dance. Once inside, he waved his hand again. Hadi dropped Xiao Ma and turned to leave. The officer eagerly leaned in close to Xiao Ma, but he had no idea Hadi had not left at all. In 2 quick moves Hadi overpowered him and beat him down. The radio was turned up so loud that the soldiers outside noticed nothing unusual. The officer was then finished off. Hadi motioned for Xiao Ma to stay quiet, and propped that dead man up in a chair, making it look like he was being held hostage. Only then did he start throwing things around on purpose, to lure one of the soldiers into the tent to check. The remaining soldier quickly grabbed Xiao Hu as a hostage. Hadi said he would trade the officer for him. After only a few seconds of standoff, the soldier gave in. The moment he stepped back, Hadi suddenly fired an incredibly precise shot. At last the 3 of them regained their freedom and continued on. After using fire to take care of the 3 companions' bodies, they climbed onto a train, and headed for the next destination. This time they passed through Turkey smoothly, and boarded a cargo ship bound for London. Everyone ate, slept and lived packed together, staying at the very bottom of the ship for 27 days. They finally endured it long enough to reach a port in Britain and get ashore. The final leg was getting into London itself. The 3 of them were squeezed into a car, and taken to a warehouse. It may have looked like just a tiny little car, but the driver was not the only person inside. When they opened the bumper, 1 passenger climbed out. When they pulled off the seat cover, there was another passenger, and there was still another person hidden in the back. Even the 2 mattresses on the roof had people tucked inside. By this point the migrants' journey was basically over. The main characters had made it to the outskirts of London, and after walking for a short while they reached the city. On a bridge, Xiao Hu was the first to notice a statue that looked a lot like their old friend Bali. He could not help sighing and saying, look at their culture. They respect immigrants so much. They even made a statue for Bali, and kind people were even tossing coins to him. But before he could praise Britain much more, he realized that thing was not a statue at all.